What's good, good people? What's good? Back for another late night session here. Hopefully, everybody had an amazing, blessed day. So, we're going to do something a little different tonight, y'all, for my people tuning back in. We're going to do a little reaction video. So, I was looking for videos to show how the Amazon FBA system works behind the scenes. So we're gonna get into it. I found a video and I'm gonna break down the process from A to Z whenever you guys are sending into FBA, exactly what they're doing in these warehouses, like where's your products, where is it going. So hey, we gonna get straight into it. And we're going to talk about a little bit at the end why Amazon FBA is super important for you buying your time back. So stay tuned to the end. Let's get straight into it.
Welcome to Set 2.
À Louvain-Blanc en France.
Welcome to the Amazon Fulfillment Center Tour. We're really excited to be showing you around our building.
Yeah, that's crazy. So your stuff gonna be going to these big fulfillment centers, y'all.
Hi everybody, my name's Paul, and I'm going to be your first tour guide of the day. Today we're in Rugeley. This building is one of our Amazon Fulfillment Centres, or FC for short. This building is 750,000 square feet,
Crazy.
or 10 football pitches if you want a comparison. All of our buildings are named after the nearest international airport. The nearest international airport to this building.
So I'm gonna stop it right here at the beginning, y'all. So even at the beginning part of this video, it's an amazing window of opportunity right now for you to be able to partner with a company this big, right? They're literally doing everything that you would physically have to be doing. Again, you guys hear me say it every video, from the picking, the packing, the shipping, the customer service. So us just being blessed, living during this time of 2023, we have an opportunity to take advantage of. And we can partner with the biggest e-commerce company in the world, right? So let's see what they talking about, y'all. Let's see if we can break this down a little bit more.
It's Birmingham. So this building is called BHX1. And I think you'll agree, the view from where we are now is quite spectacular. This is Sarah, and Sarah's making one of our famous boxes to turn up at your doorstep. Thank you, Sarah. This box has been on quite a journey, but let's go and see where it all started. So let's go and see Adam at Receive.
This is where the whole process starts from. It's actually a combination of people, technology, and high-tech computer algorithms. Over half the items sold on the Amazon website by our small and medium-sized business are done this by using Fulfilled by Amazon. Now, this is where we will bring the items in, we'll pick the items, we'll pack the items, we'll ship them out, and we'll even take care of the customer services for them.
What's up, Tay? I see you, big dog. Got to show love to everybody that comment. Tay, what's good with you? Appreciate you joining us tonight. So my people that are on Amazon here, this process here is whenever we put the two labels. So like I show you guys, we put this big label over here. It looks like it's towards the bottom where the conveyor belt is. And it's the smaller label right beside it, right? Whenever we put those two labels in, this is the process of how they receive it. So it's on the big 18-wheeler in the trailer. Once it comes off the trailer, I'm assuming they're going to pull it into the dock area, and then they're going to roll these bad boys on the belt. And let's see what they do next after receiving. So they're scanning them in, and let's see where it goes next, guys.
And more businesses are taking this up each year. As the items make their way up the conveyor belt, one of our associates will take the items off and will scan the barcode that is on the items. Now, once we've done this, we will then place the item into a black tote. Once it's the items inside the tote, it goes back onto our conveyor belt, which lets us distribute the item throughout the FC, and it will make its way to our stowing area. So we're going to go upstairs, and I'm going to pass you over to Tony.
All right, so they scanned them in. Look like this is where they're going to store them. Like they got a crazy.
Now that we've received our items, they're now ready to stow. The way it works is that we scan our item's barcode. We then check it for damages. We then pop it onto the shelf and then we scan the barcode of that shelf location. Once it's on there, we know exactly where the item is at any time and we can immediately go to that when we go into our next process. This method of stowing has been very successful. However, over recent years, we've developed something even more exciting. So let's head over to our robotics site with Marta.
I'm gonna stop it there again. So even in, again, telling you guys about this opportunity back in the day, let's say when it wasn't any Amazon and you just had to do e-commerce, you would have to have, of course, you guys know I still do have a warehouse, but if you had a store, an online store big, super big, you would have to have a place to store it. So Amazon essentially, Jeff Bezos essentially solved the big enough problem where other entrepreneurs and business owners can now loop on or hook on to his coattail, where we're able to make money 6, 7, 8 figures off of this solution he provided. We don't need a warehouse. We don't even need to see the products at times because of this great opportunity here. Let's get back into it.
Hi folks, my name's Martha and I'm here in Dunstable at one of our cutting-edge Amazon robotics fulfillment centers. This building is what we call LTN4.
Okay.
Do you remember the naming system? Perfect. The Amazon robots are activated once the associate logs into their working station to perform his or her task. The robots are bringing yellow shelves to our working stations,
crazy.
where our associates can fill up pods with more products, or we can pick up your orders. This is one of our shelving units. Our orange rectangular robots are going underneath these pods, and the lifting device is picking up a shelf just a bit from the floor, so it can be moved to our working station. Let's see our store station so I can show you how we are filling up pods with the products.
Okay.
Our associates are asked to assign containers to themselves.
So this is the
next
picking
step
process
is to pick
when
up
they
an
get the
item
order.
from the container. Then we just have to scan this barcode and find the space in the shelving units for this product.
Okay. They storing
Probably
them
you're
here.
wondering if the system tells us where we should put this product.
Okay.
It's completely random. We call it random store method. So that means that the most popular items are spread across all the levels and not all in one place. After the process is completed, then we've got digital and physical match in our system, and all these items are available on our website for the customers.
All right, so that's their storing method there. So all they need to do is basically scan them into these shelves. Look like they high. Of course, you guys know they're going to be high tech with these robots. They're needing less and less people once they scan them in. With when I used to work at Walmart back in the day, those devices, those laser guns, we used to call them tailzons. They scan them in with those barcode scanners. Boom, put them on the shelf. I guess it registers inside of their system. Whenever somebody places an order, it's going to tell them what specific shelf that is on. The robot is then in sync to pull that shelf with that order on it and face it towards the person that's going to be picking or packing. So let's get back into it.
At Amazon, we are continuously looking for ways to make improvements. And this robotic arm is one of our newer features. It's actually called a palletizer, and it helps us move heavy totes around quickly and safely.
Once you hit buy now button on Amazon website, this is beginning of our outbound operations process.
And here we are in the flow room at LCY2. This is where operations to my right are watching the workflow to make sure everybody's delivery is leaving on time. Okay. To the left of me here are the engineers. These guys are watching the conveyor belts. We have 16 miles in this building, and they're making sure it's all working smoothly.
It's crazy, guys.
This is packing. This is where all of your items end up after they've been picked, and they will then come down the lines and they'll be sorted into single pack and multiple pack. Just behind me, I have Sebi packing on singles today. And he's putting one item inside each box. Everything that they need is here. So all of their boxes, their envelopes, and their tape is always on this station or easily accessible. And they do move around onto different processors as is required. So what he'll do is he will scan his item onto the system. It will tell him exactly what size box he requires.
Wow.
We then have the tape that is cut exactly to the size of that box, so we do not waste anything.
Wow.
Once he's finished packing, it will then go onto the line and then sent down to SLAM and then to shipping.
I didn't see the label yet. Let me see. What is
Now
the
that we've
label?
finished packing our box and popped it onto the conveyor belt, it's now going to come to what we call SLAM. SLAM stands for Scan, Label, Apply and Manifest, and this is where all of our parcels pass through before going down to shipping. This label is applied by a little bit of air pressure, and each of these parcels is going to be...
Yeah, you see that tape. Appreciate you rocking with me late night. Like, yeah, they're using a robot to stamp it on the box while it's rolling down the conveyor belt. This is just the advantage of this opportunity we have to partner with a crazy technology savvy company like
Scans with
Amazon
the little white barcode that we applied at the pack station. And each one of these barcodes is going to identify what's inside that box. Once that's been scanned, it will then go through into the system automatically, and it will tell the system which address label is required. Once these parcels have continued through this part, it will get separated into large and small boxes, and these will continue down to shipping. What's pretty cool about this machine is that it can do this whole process without stopping the parcel. So that label is applied straight away and it continues and generates within a matter of seconds the next label.
Wow, that's crazy. Take commented. This is a fact. So make sure you add in
This
value.
is our final stop. This is shipping. This is where all of our parcels end up. They're going to be sorted and then they'll be sent onto the trucks via pallets and ATS carts. As you can see behind me, we have some chutes. These are where our parcels are sorted and sent down the lines. So each one of these conveyor belts is a different distribution center. And as workers behind me are going to scan those parcels and send them off onto the correct pallet or ATS cart. And then they will then be scanned into the truck that needs to go to that area.
Wow, that's it.
Our trucks, they come throughout the day. They are given a time slot when they can come into the back of the building. And then they have a certain amount of time for those parcels to get inside that truck. Once it's loaded, they will then close the truck and send it on its way. This is the last stop of our tour. Thank you so much for coming around with us today. We hope you keep safe and we hope to see you in person on one of our tours soon.
Yeah, that was dope, y'all.
Thanks for taking our tour.
Let me pull it back up. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. You guys know any business that you automate. I feel like you should know the moving parts. So it's always good to see behind the scenes. I'm going to go live on Instagram right now. Now I'm going to do a short talk before I wrap it up. I know it's already late, but I want to talk about the difference of, for one, I wanted you guys to see this opportunity on how you have a window, a opportunity to partner with the largest e-commerce platform in the world. And I want to talk about cost versus value, something that my mentor shared with me today. And I want to share it with y'all. Hopefully you guys find some value in it. Let me see, my Instagram folks gonna be coming on, but YouTube, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. So let's get straight into it. So my millionaire mentor stated, and this is not a shot at anybody, y'all. What's up, IG? Stated that cost versus value, right? So he said, he told me today, and I wanted to share this with you also, Instagram. Appreciate y'all joining in. That poor people, right? He said, poor people know the cost of everything, but the value of nothing. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. So he told me today that poor people know the cost of everything, right? But the value of nothing. Now, on the other side, right, the other side of it, he said that wealthy people, right, they really don't know the cost or don't pay attention to the cost of anything, but they know the value of pretty much everything. Now, when I say everything, I don't mean literally, right? We're just talking about in terms of products, right? In terms of product, okay? Now, what does that mean, right? What does that mean? And I got my notes here so I won't ramble. I wrote down from my conversation with him today. So it was 2 wealth formulas that he gave me, right? And I don't know if I can show, I should have had my board up so I can talk to y'all on my board. But the first wealth formula was high value, okay? High value times low volume equals wealth. I'm gonna say that again. If you're taking your notes, high value times low volume equals wealth. What's up, y'all? What's up? Now, what does that mean? Let's say if you're a realtor, you're in real estate, whatever you're doing, you have certain realtors that only sell luxury or $1 million properties, right? They're of high value to the marketplace. Now, we know if you're in real estate, right? I got you, FBA, I got you. So if you're in real estate, you know, the higher amount of property that you sell, the higher your commission, right? Your commission will grow based on the amount of property that you sold. So you have people that only sell, they might only sell 3, 4, 5 houses a year, but they make more money because they're selling $1 million properties, okay? Now, on the other hand, the second most common formula to build wealth is low value times high volume. I'm gonna say that one again. Low value times high volume. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean at all? Example, Sam Walton, right? Sam Walton, right? The founder of Walmart, right? The founder of Walmart, he wanted to pass on, he only wanted to make 30% return on investment or 30% profit margins, okay? So any other good deal that he worked out with the supplier, he passed it on to the company. Now that means Sam Walton, the founder of Walmart, one of the richest men in American history. Why? Because he passed those savings on to his customer. Okay, so he sold a lot of low value products at a high value, at a high volume, excuse me, and he made billions and billions of dollars, right? He passed it on for generations. Now, I saw somebody asking for an example. How does this relate to Amazon, right? And let me say that, let me preference this before I go any deeper. Neither is right or wrong. You can use either formula to build wealth. It doesn't have to be one or the other. You can use that. If you know how to create that high value, you can do high value, low volume. Or if you're taking it to the next level, you can do high value, high volume. But I wasn't smart enough to create that. Harlem Street, what's good with you? I see you, family. It's been a long time. Appreciate y'all commenting. Retro, what's good with you? FBA, what's good with you? All right. I wasn't smart enough to create that. I'm like, how can I bring value to the marketplace? All right. So I looked to see which person or which company was bringing the most value to the marketplace. And guess what company that was for me that I found out? It was Amazon, right? So I said, how can I partner with Amazon to solve more problems and to bring more value into the marketplace? This is your example here, FBA. Okay. So FBA would be a low value, right? High volume. Why is it high volume? Because people already like, know, and trust Amazon. I think over 60% of all sales online are made through Amazon, right? So I know they have the volume. All I need to do is find the low value product, boom, put it together. I start to build wealth. I created or had my first 6-figure year in 2011, right? It wasn't from me creating anything. I recognized the opportunity in the marketplace. And I said, hey, I can take advantage of this opportunity in the marketplace by getting that low value product, putting it on a platform like Amazon, which has the leverage, and boom, start to build wealth. Okay. I start to build wealth from there. All right. Because this point, the wealth formula is important because it's going to help you buy back more of your time, right? We know that time is our most valuable asset, right? If you agree that time is your most valuable asset, drop a 1 in the chat, okay? If you know that no matter how much money somebody can give you, that you're always going to value your time more than anything. Yep, I love media, man, because of the return on investment, FBA. All right, y'all. Yep, I see y'all. So instead of saying I'm going to trade my time for money, I see the ones in the chat. I appreciate y'all, IG. Instead of saying I'm going to trade an hour of my time, Harlem Street, I see you. 281, I see you. So instead of saying I'm going to trade my hour of time for $25, for $50, for $100, right? I want to say, hey, how can I bring value to the asset place, to the marketplace? Now, I don't have anything against working a job, right? But again, once you come into the mindset of time is your most valuable asset, you start to look at things different, right? It looks at, yes, sir, Retro. Yes, sir, man. You look at things. I see the ones. Judah, what's good with you? Tay, I see you over there on YouTube. I see y'all. Appreciate y'all rocking with me tonight. Okay, so once you understand that, you don't want to trade an hour of your time. I don't care if I'm making $100 an hour. I don't want to trade my time for money, okay? Because, and I'm going to just keep it a buck. Y'all know the ones that know me, whether you've been in my course, whether you know me from school, whatever, I'm going to be transparent. I'm going to shoot you straight. Like, I don't care if you're giving me $100, $200, $300 an hour. I'm always going to value my time more than that. Why? Because the time I can spend with my family, I can spend with my wife, I can spend with my daughter, I can spend with my mother, I can spend doing the things that I want to do, okay? Even $1 million, somebody said $1 million an hour, even $1 million an hour, right? I know it seems crazy, but once you have that mindset shift, it's different. You don't want to trade your, I don't care if somebody said, matter of fact, Matt said an hour. So let's give this example. If somebody said, hey, Matt, I'm going to give you $1 million, right? But after I give you $1 million, you got 1 hour to enjoy it, but then you got to end your life. Would you take that $1 million for an hour? He asked me, would I take $1 million for an hour, right? Would you do that, Matt? You can't give it to anybody, right? You can't give it to anybody. You get the $1 million, but after an hour, you have to end your life, okay? And let me know in the chat if you would do that. It lets you know that no matter what. So Tay said, nah, I'm good. People like, no. I see some no's in the chat. Like, money is not worth more than your time. Once you wrap your head around that, it's going to allow you guys to think differently, right? And I'm going to show you, right? The reason why people don't make the amount of money they want to, and let me make sure I'm reading off my notes because I didn't want to leave off anything here, y'all. Okay. Let me make sure I'm not rambling. The reason why people don't make as much as they want to make is not because they are of low value. It's the job that they're working at or the job they're working in, right, is of low value. Okay, Matt said, talking about it was a test. I passed. Oh, that's good, bro. That's good. Appreciate you tuning in tonight, right? So the reason why you're not making as much money as you like to, it's not, you guys have plenty of value. You genius, right? You millionaires. We got billionaires on this stream, right? You just hadn't pulled out that potential, that value, and took it to the marketplace. You're only getting paid what the job is worth, not what you're worth. That's a big gem. That's a big gem. I'm going to say that again. At these jobs, you're not getting paid what you're worth. It's what the job is worth. But when you get that job, you start to feel like, hey, I'm just getting, this is what I'm worth, right? But you're worth, infinitely more time, more money than what they're paying you. Because 9 times out of 10, you're not utilizing all your skills. They're just paying you that $20 an hour, or they're paying you that $50 an hour, or $100 an hour, whatever that you're making, okay? All right, so what can you do, right? And what is the play? And this is not to make anybody feel bad. I just like to be transparent, right? So what is the boss doing? The boss understands that, hey, if I can get somebody else to trade their most valuable resource or most valuable asset for some money, guess what? I'm going to leverage their time, right? They're going to put in hours, and guess what? If I pay them time and a half, guess what? They'll work overtime. Instead of working 40 hours a week, guess what? They're going to try to work 60 hours a week. Ooh, I got them now. Ooh, I got them now. They're going to try to work overtime. They're going to work holidays, and I'm going to take that time that they're working. I'm going to make them build my business, and guess what? I'm going to spend time with my family. I'm going to do the things that I want to do, right? So, again, that's just the game. That's how business works, right? Now, I'm going to leave y'all with this question. I want y'all to think about this question. And I need to see y'all interact with me in the chat, right? Is it easier to get $20 from somebody or $20,000 from somebody? Say that again, and I'm gonna pause. I know it's a delay on this stream. If y'all active, if you're not at work or anything like that, I need y'all to answer that question. Either put 20,000 or 20K. Is it easier to get $20 from somebody or $20,000 from somebody? It's not a trick question. Let me see somebody answer. I know somebody with me. All right, Harlem Street said $20. Let me see somebody else. Is it easier to get $20 or 20,000 from somebody? Somebody talk to me. Harlem Street, I appreciate you. I know you always rocking. Can we get somebody else to answer? Y'all scared to answer? Talk to me. Which one? Which one? They scared to answer. All right. Okay, all right, Matt. We got another $20. Okay, we got some coming in. We got the $20. We got the $20. Okay, somebody said 20K. Tay said it can go either way. All right. So what I'm saying is, to me, if you ask somebody for $20, let me preference this, right? Tay said 20. Okay, let's just keep it a buck, y'all. If you're asking strangers for money, they'll probably give you $20 before they give you 20,000. Can we agree on that, right? Okay. All right, so now that let's just assume that that's the case. More than not. Now, sometimes when you have somebody that has a slew of money and willing to give you 20,000, absolutely. But more often than not, it's going to be 20. Thank you. Yeah, it's going to be $20, okay? All right, so now let's talk about this. What if you could figure out how to bring $20 or create something that could get $20 from the marketplace? Okay, think about that. What if you could create something that could get $20 from the marketplace? Now watch this. Watch this. Okay, I'm gonna lean in a little bit closer for this. Once you create that thing that was worth $20 of value to the marketplace, that's to others, you could then sell that to 1,000 people. What is that? That's $20,000. Okay. It's only, remember, y'all said it's easy to get $20 from somebody. So if I took that $20 thing and sold it to 1,000 people, right? Okay. Then guess what? That's $20,000. Okay. Y'all stay with me, because I'm on a little trip tonight. Y'all stay with me now. Okay. Now, the question becomes, okay, Tay said on YouTube, I'm on YouTube and Instagram, y'all. He said I would do it right now if I had a plan to create it, but you do. You do. Watch this. Before I get into that, watch this. Your job, let's just say you had a job that was giving you, I know most people on here make over $20,000 a year on their job, okay? But that job, y'all remember y'all told me, if you're getting $20,000 from one person, that one person is your employer. Guess what? Y'all just said it's harder. Come on now. Y'all just told me it's easier to get $20. So working a job, making $20,000 is harder than creating something of value for $20, getting that from somebody. Okay. So y'all follow where I'm going. Follow where I'm going now. So once you create that $20 thing, I'm gonna tell you how I started with Amazon. I found a product that will profit $20. How do I get it in front of 1,000 people? Guess what? Amazon has the leverage, right? Because the problem becomes, okay, I have the thing that can make me $20. Once you find that, once you learn how to find that, then the next issue is, how do I get it in front of 1,000 people? Guess what? Amazon has the attention. Boom. Boom. Amazon has the attention. Yeah, they already got the attention. You don't have to pay for ads. It's already there. So the key is, how can you find that product, right? How can you create a strategy to do that, right? That's where FBA comes in. The only reason I start a business is not that I'm in love with Amazon. It's that it's the financial freedom vehicle to help you buy back your most valuable asset. Okay. Are y'all tracking? If you tracking what I'm saying, drop a 1 in the chat. Y'all got quiet. If you tracking what I'm saying, drop a 1 in the chat. We should only be starting businesses where you're able to remove yourself and automate the business, right? If you're not building a personal brand, appreciate it, Harlem Street. If you're not building a personal brand, you should never be the most valuable commodity inside your business, right? If you gotta be there, appreciate the ones, y'all. Y'all love that. I love that. Tay, I see you. Pallet, I see you. Erica, I see you. It's been a minute. Passion, thanks for joining us. If you're the most valuable, Mr. Will, I see you. Okay. If you're the most valuable, FBA said kick some media game. It's all on my YouTube, man. YouTube Generational Wealth Vibes. We got over 130 videos up there, bro. Anything you need. We focus on mindset tonight, bro. We got to shift the mindset before we get to the money. Okay. I lost my train of thought too. Oh, y'all know I'm getting old and it's getting late. But yes, focus on creating value. How do you undercut that? And to be honest, the same question that you had, Tay. You said, Tay, that I had that question. How would I create it? So I didn't create it. Guess what I did? Okay. I leveraged other people's creations. I found it undervalued. So essentially, what do I do in a nutshell? I appreciate the heart. Whoever hearted me up on Facebook. Y'all know I love the reaction, man. If y'all getting value, let me see some hearts or something, y'all. I appreciate it, y'all. I appreciate it. Okay. So I leverage somebody else's IP. We call it IP or intellectual property. Okay. Don't give up. Harlem Street hit me up. I said, I got you. You know, you family. I got you. Just stay connected. I got you, though. I appreciate the love, y'all. IG showing me love, y'all. And Facebook showing me love. We got somebody else up there. All right. So the play is the value, right? The play is the value. So I leverage somebody's IP, right? They created the product, Tay. All I did was I said, okay, I'm going to find it at a price where I could sell it on the marketplace. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, bro. Just tap. Let me know. Let me know, yo. I got you. I got you. Okay. I found that. I found it undervalued. And then the convenience, where's the value, Trav? I know you talked about value. Where is the value? The value is in the convenience. We know Amazon is prime shipping, it's 2-day, it's 1-day shipping. That's the value add. And people pay you. Once they pay me that difference, guess what? I take that money, I put it inside Pocket National Bank, and then I reinvest it into more products. I have over 60,000 products on Amazon, right? I started back in 2010. But I started this business with $150, right? Less than $150, but I built it up along the way. Leveraging media. I love media because the ROI, we always say in the community, you can always take a little bit and make it go a long way. And that's what I needed. That's what I needed because I didn't have the capital. Yeah, I didn't have the capital. I can't sit here and act like, you know, I had $100,000 to invest into a business because I didn't have it. Okay. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the talk tonight, right? Think about that. Think about that question tonight. Is it easier to bring $20 to the marketplace and get $20 from somebody, or is it easier to get $20,000 from somebody? Think about that. Think about that, because that's the whole play behind Amazon. That's why I encourage you guys to learn. If it's your first time seeing me, I appreciate you tuning in tonight. If you want to learn more, check out my YouTube video. I think I have over 130 something videos on YouTube about how I got started in this business. Also, shameless plug, we will be hosting another boot camp. And let me tell you right now, every time I do the boot camp, it goes crazy. This one is guaranteed to sell out. So if you're interested in learning more about this business, right, for less than $100, I'm gonna give you all the gems, all the game, everything from A to Z. If you're on Instagram, it should be the link in my bio. And matter of fact, on YouTube too, in the description, it's probably going to be the first link in the description, first or second. It's going to say the boot camp. It is going to sell out, right? It's going to sell out. I have nothing but good reviews. If you're on Instagram or if you're on YouTube, check me out on Instagram at Travis_GWV. You will see the testimonials lined up from the boot camp, right? Because we ain't playing. We know it's 2023. It's a lot of people scamming out there. It's a lot of people not adding real value, right? But I know how I was back in 2010, working fast food, right? First year teaching, I was struggling. I used to have to eat the meals at school. I ain't even have money to bring lunch. So I know the struggle. Hopefully you guys got a lot of value from this live. I'm gonna try to keep doing them just to stay consistent, keep showing my face, and try to help everybody level up. So, hey, y'all be blessed. Hope you enjoy it. See you on the next one. Love, y'all.